Hey, everybody. So I have a new piece out titled, Is Digital Advertising Worth It? It depends, but probably not. Okay, am I being a little flippant and trying to be a little provocative here? Yes. But I'm hard pressed in 2025 to say that the industry is thriving. I mean, yes, total media and digital ad spend will grow at a healthy pace for the rest of the decade, but I have a lot of questions about the current state. Is real value being created? Are viewers and users actually okay with the ad experiences they're getting? Are CMOs able to say with confidence that they have a good handle on their ROI and ROAS across all channels? That they're paying the right companies and using the right tools to grow their brands and business? Are agencies doing the hard work of pushing back on vendors and platforms when they need better transparency into their investments? Are they even structured properly? Listen, their jobs aren't easy, and there are more companies than ever offering solutions for bidding and buying doors, whether that's direct or programmatic, for content targeting, audience targeting, dynamic creative, measurement and analytics, you name it. But it kind of seems like an inefficient mess with a few big culprits at play. The first culprit, there is infinite content and data, but finite quality, utility, and usability. Between linear TV, CTV, digital video, social, audio, search, retail media, and the infinite display impressions across the open web, the total universe for advertisers is virtually unlimited. But in reality, the addressable universe for what's quality content is much more limited. I don't know what percentage of the total universe is actually addressable when advertisers account for quality, but it's most certainly less than half. On the brand side, in demand content is driven by live sports, which has the tremendous tailwind of legalized gambling. It's driven by YouTube and some decent original content aggregated across legacy TV and the streamers. That's not to say that there isn't any other quality content out there. There is. But it really needs to stand out with contextual relevance, audience value, and ease of use to be worth the effort. On the performance side, search is still king. There's meta and mid funnel for lower funnel, and there's meta for mid funnel and lower funnel that performs really well. Sprinkle in some other social platforms depending on the context and audience. And retail media, it's growing like crazy and supposedly more accountable with closed loop attribution. But with a field of more than 200 retail media networks, there's a ton of measurement inconsistencies, data fragmentation, campaign management complexities, not to mention rising costs, all of which negatively impact ROI. So, all in, advertisers are overextended, spread too thin based on their resources and ability to quantify their investments. And then there's the more than 400 million terabytes of data that are created online each day, a number that's actually surging. The total amount of data on the internet is expected to grow to 182 zettabytes. That number was 10 in 2010. For context, 1 zettabyte is 500,000 times the entire collections of all the academic libraries in the US. Yes, all that data may sound good and exciting, and it certainly can be used to create some powerful analytics. But more likely than not, it's creating data gravity that's problematic, meaning it's difficult and costly to collect, to move, to analyze, integrate, and activate. And for advertisers, agencies, publishers, and ad platforms, there seems to be a real challenge in finding quantifiably positive ROI outputs and insights, especially on the brand side, when you take into account all the time, energy, and resources that go into these efforts. So what's the takeaway here for advertisers? Focus your efforts and relationships with publishers, platforms, and ad tech partners. Zero in on quality, identify and measure what matters, and do not bite off more than you or your agencies can chew when it comes to risk capital expenditures, because the potential for high returns is almost certainly inflated. The second culprit, in my opinion, and based on my analysis, is that there are too many unique roles and too many activities providing little to no value. Orgs are way too siloed and employees are way too specialized, either by media type, channel, discipline, or industry. Marketing teams, agencies, big tech companies, and many others have decided to spread out expertise across multiple teams and business units, often with misaligned incentives and a watered down understanding of what a business is actually trying to achieve. This is a problem for a few reasons. This creates a massive collaboration tax where a working group could have 10 or more people, all with different managers. Oftentimes, there's no clear leader or clear understanding of what needs to get done and how. So emails and meetings swirl, trying to coordinate schedules, and efforts across distributed teams to get people on the same page, timelines drag out, and the end result is often a lukewarm effort and mediocre output. For businesses, this not only means that revenue per employee is too low, but it breeds inefficiencies and slowly dampers morale and motivation. And this is also a huge disservice to workers in the digital advertising and media industry. Overly specialized workers run the risk of being left behind as technology changes and their subject matter expertise becomes obsolete. As companies shift priorities, as clients churn, and as the activities that are now human-led get optimized or displaced by AI agents. One other point worth mentioning, in digital advertising, it's incredibly difficult for employees to visualize success. It's not dissimilar from other white-collar knowledge worker jobs, where the output is more shapeless and often quite invisible, other than seeing bold green numbers on a dashboard. And the more one's role is diluted or siloed, the fewer traces of achievement or impact. So what's the takeaway here? Employers will need to continue to streamline and restructure their human capital so they can improve agility and shorten the distance between actual work and impact. We're also likely to see more consolidation and shuttered companies, but we should also see more innovation and success from companies and teams that are super clear about the value they create for their stakeholders, which is why employees need to be adaptable as best they can, which is easier said than done. But they need to keep learning, be aware of the level of impact they have in their current roles, and potentially make some tough choices about what they do and where they go in their careers. Listen, we're still looking at an industry that is approaching $1 trillion globally and about $400 billion in the US. But for it to thrive as an accountable value creator for brands and to attract and retain top talent, there is clearly room for improvement, and it's certainly worth trying. Thank you for watching, and feel free to let me know what you think.